Welcome to the 2Ds and an F podcast with your hosts, Jay and Mikey. All right.
Okay.
All right, Brad. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, man.
It's been a while since you've been in this room, I bet.
Yeah, it looks completely different. There was drum sets, and we were jamming. I was lugging my amp down here.
Yeah.
Trying to be a superstar, you know?
One of the greatest bass players that I know personally.
Yeah,
Sure.
I haven't played it in a while.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of sad. It's collecting dust in my jam room that I'm trying to force my kids into now, but try to get them interested in the music. But
You ever think about getting like an acoustic bass or something like that, just to put up in the living room every?
yeah, well, I have my acoustic guitar. I put that in the living room. That's like centerpiece. Try to get the kids playing that. And
Okay.
I got some interest, but you know they're still a little young. Trying to get them to grab that thing and jam out.
Right. Yeah, my son tries to grab my electric guitar. Then he wants me to hook it up. Then I have to get everything out and plug everything in.
Yeah, I try to fight the urge of like being like, oh my god, don't break it, but because I want them to, whatever. If they break a string, I don't really care. I just want them to pick it up.
Yeah,
play
but it
with
might hurt though. That's like one of my fears because he like pulls them sometimes.
Yeah,
Like, don't pull it.
I know.
Don't pull the string. That thing will snap you in the eye.
It's a fine line because I want them to. Touch it and get familiar with it. So I don't want to be too overbearing with like, oh my god, I spent a lot of money on that guitar. Don't break it, please.
But try to get everything together and plug everything in, and then it's not tuned and nothing sounds right.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter to them because they're
then you
not
just
like
stand there. Yeah,
they can't put their
Just
hands
stand there
around the neck
awkwardly.
anyway to it's just like he lays it in his lap and he plays it like one of those, I guess it's like a lap guitar or something like that. Like a country guitar, and then I give him like a little slide, and he slides it back and forth.
Use a lighter.
Yeah. But anyway, so there's a couple things that we want to go over tonight. One, I know you haven't been in the field. I don't know how long it's been since you've been in like nanotechnology.
Like 5 years. It's been around 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so have you been up with it at all, or?
I know certain things I was like trained in, going to Penn State up in the lab up there, stuff I know. But I mean, the field is so ever evolving that there's just like new updates, every, probably month. So
Yeah, now I hear they're trying to do stuff with the vaccine.
Yeah.
Because of all the variants out there, they're trying to come out with like picture a soccer ball in your head, and then like on the black and the white spots on the soccer ball, those would be the different variants of the virus.
Yeah.
But only this is at a molecular level.
Yeah, that's more of like a biotechnology the field. And I did take some courses in biotechnology, and that's like manipulating viruses to produce traits that you're looking for. And that's like kind of the issue that happened down in Wuhan, China. So, what everybody's talking about is they're manipulating these viruses to produce traits that are more dangerous in order to combat them with vaccines. So, that's like the theory, the conspiracy theory is that it was leaked through this manipulation of these viruses through that process.
Yeah. I mean, it is part of nanotechnology. It doesn't have to be like quantum mechanics to where it's like something mechanical in a way. Like it can be like a living organism, right?
Yeah. So one thing, like dealing with that. So when I was up in Penn State, I was talking with PhDs and stuff. So like basically what you're doing, right? Talking to me, you're talking to a phlebotomist, and you're looking for PhD answers. I'm not that guy. I'm like the technician level. So basically what this guy was doing, what his research project was up in Penn State Labs, was he was taking these metrology. It was an AIF, I believe. It was an atomic something force microscope. And what it would do is it would take this needle, this nanotechnology needle, very micron thick needle, and they would attach a biological string to it. And what it would do is it would actually measure cells with a van der Waals force, they called it. So it wouldn't actually touch the cell, but it was able to measure the cell with a tool, which really never has been done before.
Is this something that acts off of like an electrical signal or like some kind of like magnetic field?
So the van der Waals force is basically when you get so close to an object, when you get barely touching the object, there's a force called the van der Waals force. So there's like an electrical connection between that and the
static,
object.
Right?
It's not quite static. Okay. You're talking on like the micron to nano level. So it's not quite static because static is bigger. Static is electricity. That's
right.
It's
a lot of amps.
Yeah, it's more than that. And by the way, before we get into deep to this topic, I'd like to say that 80% of the things I say are probably true.
Okay, well let's come back to this topic then and go back to the other thing that we were going to talk about. Your brother was on episode 17, I believe.
Yeah.
Erik.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And there's some things on there that you wanted to kind of correct.
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to it, and like some of the things were like, I was like, man, that just didn't happen at all.
So he was listening to the radio when he met Nikki Sixx.
Yeah. I don't know about that story. I can't vouch for that story. But there's certain things like he kept saying he was down in King of Prussia. It was definitely Tower Theater in Wilkes-Barre. I was at that show, and I saw him get kicked out. And the rest of the story is true. But like I said, it's the 80% rule with the Lundquist family for the most part.
Yeah, I knew something sounded weird when he said I was at a show in King of Prussia. I'm like, dude, there are no venues in King of Prussia. There's no theaters. It's just a
maybe he saw some
mall.
Homeless guy at the fucking turnpike or something. I don't know.
Did you find him at a Fish concert just by looking up at the screen?
Yeah, so that's a long story. I'll go into it if you have.
We have time. Yeah.
So there's, like I said, there's variations to this story. I'll tell the honest truth story to this one, but so back in high school, I failed my senior year because I just didn't really care that much. I was a terrible student. So I wanted to go to this concert up in Limestone, Maine, Fish show. I'm a young, dumb kid, obviously, back then, failing out of school. So I had to go to summer school. All those guys, they had tickets. They were out of school. They were going up there. I couldn't make the trip with them because I had to go to summer school. So I ended up convincing my parents to buy a ticket up to Bangor, Maine. I said, we're going to this concert up in Maine. Not a big deal. We'll go to Bangor, Maine. I'll get a bus or I'll get a cab to the concert. It's not that big a deal. So I get the ticket up there. I'm young. I never really traveled outside the state. I take a Greyhound bus, and the first thing we do is we go to New York City, Penn Station, I believe it is. And I have no idea. I've never been in New York City before. I have no idea how to get to one terminal to the other. It's like a maze up there. Yeah, you got to go underneath the ground. So I'm like panicking. My bus leaves in 10 minutes. And I have no idea how to get there.
New York City is one big panic.
Yeah,
I think.
I experienced that completely. And going up to a Fish show, of course, I saved up all my money. I had about, $600 in, 20s, big wad of cash. And I go and this homeless guy in the corner sees I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. He probably makes his living off this, people not knowing how to get to their next bus. Because I'll show you how to get there. It's like, great, thank you. So he's taking me underneath the city, and we're going through these tunnels. There's no one else around. I'm like, this guy's gonna fucking rob me.
You were walking?
Sure. Yeah, we were walking.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he's taking me under these tunnels, and finally he gets me there. I'm like, oh man, thank you. I thought you were gonna, stab me in the neck at some point, but you got me there. And then he hands out his hand. So I got a stack of 20s.
That's all you got. So
That's
you had to give him a 20.
A wad of 20. No, I just ran.
Oh.
I was
going to give him anything.
Yeah, I was going to pull out a wad of 20s in front of a homeless guy with no one around.
Yeah.
So I ran. I got on my bus, and then we get set. The next stop was in Massachusetts, and we're going. And the whole time, like a nerd, before I went there, I went to the Emmaus Public Library and I rented a book on fish.
Nice.
I was reading about the band history and stuff like that. And just like
I gotta know what to talk about when I get there.
Yeah, exactly. But we get there and we go through Massachusetts and it's all fine. And then some hippie chick gets on the bus with dreadlocks. I was like, okay, I'm gonna talk to her a little bit. And I'm talking to her about the show. Hey, you going to this show? And she says, no, I'm not going to make it. And I'm talking to her about my plans to go to Bangor and get in a cab. And she's like, you know, Bangor, Maine is probably about 8 hours from Limestone. I mean, there's like a huge gap there. You better start thinking about what you're going to do. So then I'm in a panic. But I'm looking out the bus window and I keep seeing cars with, bumper stickers on them with fish stuff. I was like, okay, I'm just going to have to hitchhike from here. So finally, there's probably, getting up to Bangor, Maine, there's probably about 3 people on this bus. I mean, there's nobody. And it's night. It's probably 1 o'clock in the morning. I have no fucking idea what I'm going to do. And the last stop before we get to Bangor, Maine, another hippie girl comes on the bus. And she's got dreadlocks. And I said, this is my chance. I got to talk to this girl right now. So she ended up going to college somewhere up there in Bangor. She said she might go up to the concert. She might not. But I could stay with her at her hotel. Or her dorm room. So we ended up going to her dorm room and I got to sneak in because it was like a woman's only dorm. So I sneak myself in there and she's like ready to party. She's ready to have a good time. Yeah. But I'm like nervous. I'm thinking, I don't trust this girl to take me to this concert the next day. She has like no idea if she's going or not. I got to make a plan. So I stay in her dorm room drinking by myself, trying to think of a plan. And I'm sitting there, and I see a pizza box on the floor. I say, okay, I'm going to write a sign, say, $60 to Limestone, Maine. And I'm going to walk to the highway. I'm going to walk to the highway in the morning. I'm going to go there. So I write it up. I leave. Crack of dawn. I'm walking to the highway, and I don't really know where the highway is. I can kind of think I hear it. So I'm walking down the road. I wish I remembered the name of the college, but I don't. And all I see is like going into the woods, thinking the highways up there is signs for moose, moose crossings and stuff. Like I'm going to get killed by a moose or a bear or something. I'm walking through the woods. I walk through the woods for about half a mile and I climb up this deep, steep embankment to the highway and I get up there. So I'm on the highway and I pull out my sign and I look like a complete bum. I got long hair and my backpack with my sleeping bag and everything tied together. And I'm walking down the highway, and I pull out my sign, $60 to Limestone, Maine. And I'm walking down for about 15 minutes. No one's picking me up. I'm like, fuck, man. No one's gonna pick me up. So I cross it off. $80 to Limestone, Maine. I'm walking down the highway again.
Price increase.
Yeah, I keep walking down. And then no one's picking me up. Another 10, 15 minutes. Then I cross it again.
$100.
Yeah, $90. And I'm walking again. I'm like, I gotta make a move here, or I'm gonna be, stranded in nowhere.
And this was back before Uber.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That would have been a really expensive Uber trip, probably.
This was 2005, I believe.
Okay.
2000, if I'm correct.
Eventually, you just cross all the pricing off and just write, "I eat ass."
Blowjobs.
Yeah. I was gonna do anything at this point. I was like
Free
thinking of
blowjobs.
Jay and Silent Bob. Some trucker's gonna pick me up, But. So eventually I go down to write, like $150. I was gonna put anything I had to on there, but as I was crossing it off, I see a car pull over on the side of the road. And when they pulled on the side of the road, they pulled a half a mile ahead of me. So I'm running down the highway, and I'm out of breath, and I get to the car, and they never saw the price I wrote down, so I just threw it on the side of the highway, and they ended up picking me up for free. And it was these 3 people from, I think it was either Ithaca or one of the colleges closer to the lakes up there. I forget, it's like Arcadia or something. I forget what it's called up there. But it was 3. It was a guy and two girls. So they took me up there, and we're driving up there, and I am fucking exhausted after the bus trip. I stayed up all night in this girl's dorm room like a fucking dick, just by myself, thinking of plans, drinking by myself. And we get to a CVS in Maine. I fell asleep. in the car. I was like, finally, I get to fall asleep. And I remember I woke up to the guy berating the two girls. You never leave the hitchhiker sleep in the car by himself. Never do it. Oh my God. They thought I was like gonna rob him and shit. But yeah, they never did that. So we ended up getting to the show finally. And there's like, I guess there's stories of people waiting in line for 12 hours or so.
So they were going to the show?
They were going to the show. Yeah, they picked me up on the way to the show. Yeah. They saw me. I wear my I was like a complete door. Yeah, like a fish t-shirt. Yeah,
you're hitchhiking. I'm sure there was 1,000 people that night hitchhiking trying to get to that show.
So we get to the show. We hit the line. Then I'm like, all right, see you guys. I'm going in. So I walk right in. I probably didn't even need a ticket because nobody checked me. I walked straight into the show.
Wow.
And then it was like the progress of trying to find my friends, all my friends up there, because I still needed a ride home.
Yeah.
So
had like 60, 70,000 people maybe or something?
I think it was closer to 120, I think.
Wow.
Like I said, 80% rule.
Yeah.
I stick by that.
Let's fact check.
Yeah, fact check it right now. Pull it up, Jamie. No.
Mikey.
I don't have Lundquist statistics just yet.
All right. Yeah, so I don't know if you know anything about Loring's Air Force Base, but it is fucking massive. So I'm walking up and down the runways, just walking down. It was all day long. I'm walking up and down the road, just looking. They told me, this is what they told me. He said, hey, to meet us, we're going to have a tent, and we're going to have a Grateful Dead flag hanging above our tent. So I get in the show. The first 15 tents I see have fucking Grateful Dead flag hanging above their tent. How the hell am I going to find them? So I'm like, oh, fuck. So I'm just looking around, and I don't see him. So the show started. So I walk into the show with my backpack on, with my tent, everything bundled to me. I was like a complete asshole. So I go in, I listen to a couple songs, and there's like a light post there with a little ledge. So I stand up on the ledge, and I'm scanning the crowd. And I see the boom camera kind of scanning the audience, and they have it up on the projector. And I'm thinking, man, there's a lot of fucking white people here that look exactly the same. So there was one guy, I don't know, remember A.B. Tawil? He's an Arabic guy.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I got to look for the Arabic guy in the sea of white people. So I'm looking for the one Arabic guy, and sure enough, they pass overhead, and I see him. And I see where the boom mics or the boom cameras aimed, and I said, that's where they are. So I walk up and I tap them on the shoulder, and I say, hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? And they're all, experimenting like you would at a fish show. So they turn and look at me and say, hey, what's up? And then turn back around. I'm like, you motherfuckers, you have no idea what I
punched them all in the face.
Yeah, you have no idea what I just did to find you, assholes.
I can't believe you had the energy to do all that.
Well,
I would have passed out long before.
I'll tell you what, it was that night I set my tent up, and I was there, and I was just so happy I had a ride home, and my friend's there, and I was just so ecstatic. But I had to sleep on my stomach because my fucking glutes, my ass hurt so fucking bad from walking, I couldn't lay on it. I was like, I was stiff as a board the next day. It was insane.
Was that like a 3-day concert thing, or?
Yeah, it was. I showed up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then we ended up leaving. And I guess like the theory is there's a couple guys there, and they have a documentary on the concert, and they're in there pushing somebody out of the mud or something like that. They're in the documentary. So. Yeah, it was a hell of an experience. It was like a adventure. It was like my, into adulthood adventure.
Yeah,
I made it happen, and it was awesome.
I think everyone should experience at least one of those things in their life. Like
it changed me for the better, for sure.
Traveling on your own adventure.
Yeah, and that's
on your own.
And that experience, like my kids now, like I had this experience, and I'm like, I can't wait for that. They're that age, and I can be just like, do something, man. Go do something by yourself. You have to, everything you do is on you. You got to figure it out. You got to problem solve. You got to take all the problems that come, and you got to deal with them. And it was a life-changing experience with me. It gave me confidence. It really honestly did.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I can make this happen, and it worked. There's a lot of luck involved in that story, but, it helped me grow as a person. For real.
I think I'm starting to lose that a little bit. I had that too. I would travel on my own a lot in the military. Like, I'd have the plane ticket. They'd give me the plane ticket, but I would have to get there. I'd have to, plan everything out.
Yeah.
One time I drove cross country to California, just planning in there. And like, I think it's really hard for me to do that now as like a full grown adult, almost 40. You'd think it would get easier, but it's not, because I think I get more stressed out. I'm like, because of those experiences where shit went my way. It's like, if it doesn't go my way now, I just get mad.
It's
like, I get really fucking
when
mad.
You're younger, man.
Yeah.
When you just don't.
You had the energy.
You don't think of the consequences.
Now it's just like, I want to sit on a bench and like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
Like,
well, now that I'm a dad, you're a parent as well. It's like all you think about are this is what my mind works.
Consequences.
The consequences of what happens. Yeah. Before that, when I was a fucking asshole kid, I didn't care about anything.
I didn't wear a seatbelt back then. I wear a seatbelt now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I'm like, tell my kids to wear a seatbelt. I didn't care.
Yeah.
I was jumping off of rocks and Peace Rock. We'd go up there. I think the story was a person died a year from hitting a rock, and I didn't care.
No one did.
No, it was just like you lived life, and consequences happen if they happen. But
yeah, and that's, it's just it reminds me of like back, like, obviously I didn't live in the time frame, but like in the 60s and 70s, like when people were so free to do, whatever they wanted to do. It's a little different now. I feel like our freedom has gotten taken away a little bit.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely. There's so many. Well,
like you tell me I can't hitchhike right now? What?
Well, the thing is, like, people aren't, like, I talked to my grandfather about this, and he tells me, he's like, if I was your age right now, I probably wouldn't be married, and I'd probably be in prison, because the things you did, were, you could do things with your friends that weren't immediately going to be on social media, or, you were allowed to make mistakes and not really suffer the consequences that some of these young kids are having to deal with. You're a young kid. You can attest for this. How many stupid shit things did you do as a kid?
Yeah, a lot.
And if they were recorded, you would be, immediately canceled. People in Colorado would know what your face looks like and be able to attack you for it.
But you'd be famous.
Yeah, but what is that? Yeah, but you're famous for something shitty.
That's your 15 minutes. Hey, whatever.
For a shitty thing you did.
You don't want to be famous for something shitty. That's for sure.
Yeah, and that's like a lot of these people are.
Yeah.
And some people strive for it, though. Honestly, some people like make money off it. I guess TikTok. I don't know nothing about.
I don't know either. Yeah.
But yeah, that's just like YouTube videos, these prank things, and people are just getting mean and just doing shitty things, but they're making money off of it.
A lot of money, millions.
A lot of money.
I think. Was it Instagram or Facebook or some? I think they're the same thing anyway, but. I think they just put something out like $1 billion like to people who are getting a lot of views or something like that. You get a percentage of whatever. So it's just like, holy fuck, dude.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. I put my name. Well, so my son had.
You had a viral video.
Yeah. So my son had a viral video of him. I gave him like a golf club when he was 3 years old, and it was just like a perfect thing that happened. Like, it was like a 15, it's not, I don't think it's like 10 seconds long, but it's just like the audio to it and the clip is perfect. I'll send it to you if you want to put it on.
Yeah, we can.
But it's just perfect. So I put it out there, and it was a big hit. People put it like AC/DC, Hell's Bells, and stuff like that. Like, it was like he threw the club and it hit the propane tank, and it made a perfect dong. There's a rooster in the background that like crows at the perfect moment, and it was perfect. Actually, Tom Segura, I'm sure you know who that. Do you know Tom Segura? He's a comedian.
Okay.
So he actually used that video to promote his upcoming tour.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So.
Did you make money off
the name of the video?
Yeah.
What's the name of the video?
I think it's Toddler Fails at Golf Swing. I think it's that.
So it went viral? Like, how many views?
Yeah, so I'll tell you how many. I think it's at like almost 2 million views right now. Yeah, so Tom Segura
here it is. Yeah. 1.6 million views.
1.6.
Wow.
Yeah. So I made like $2,000 off that.
Holy shit,
yeah,
dude.
so I was like, So basically, what happened is I made $2,000 off it, and I'm riding this thing into the sunset. You know what I mean? Let's like get this kid out there and swing some more golf clubs.
Dude, that's terrific. That's a fucking great video. Let me watch that again.
Yeah, hey, you gotta listen to the audio. The audio makes it.
Winding up. Don't.
So yeah, he'll put it on.
So with media company I'll said, hey, we'll promote this for you. And then Tom Segura ended up putting it on his. And so I immediately emailed Tom Segura. I'm like, hey, you're coming to Bethlehem. He had been to be coming to Bethlehem in like the upcoming weeks. So I was like, hey, you're using my video for this promo. How about some tickets? And he's like, no, I'll remove it. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. I was like,
really?
this is my chance.
Douche.
Yeah, exactly. So, I was like, maybe I was a little aggressive with it.
Maybe.
Like, hey, this is my video.
Hey, Tom.
I own the rights to this video. All I want is a couple free tickets, and it's cool. And he just fucking removed it.
Wow.
Fucking douche.
What a dick.
Yeah. Yeah, but so
fuck
that's
Tom Segura.
Yeah. And I had another video, so I was like going on the wave of trying to exploit my kids for YouTube fame. There's another video that it was very big in Ireland, where I told my son I was painting his face as a tiger, and I just put like the fucking French mustache on him and shit like that. And he's going in the camera saying he's a tiger face, and then I painted my other kid. Yeah, it's good. It's big in Ireland. The Irish guys get I guess.
My wife does. I keep telling her, like, put that shit out there on the internet because you don't want to exploit your kids, but maybe if it's gonna get us paid, fuck it.
Yeah,
like,
I invested. I put some money.
Videos, man.
I invested some of that for him. And the rest I spent on just stupid shit.
Yeah, fuck it. Hey, this is going to send him to college. Like,
Yeah, but it's crazy. Like, I understand how people get so wrapped up in doing that shit. Because if you do, like, shitty stuff and you get views, you're, like, clicking. And, like, every day I'm seeing, oh, my God. And then you're looking at the comments. And then, this so-and-so is commenting on it.
You can't look at the comments. No comments.
I was, like, looking at it all.
If we had comments, I would look at them just because...
Yeah,
we would have comments. Great, good.
Yeah, you're gonna look at it.
That means people are listening.
Yeah, you're gonna look at the comments.
So comment. I don't care if it's negative or positive.
Fucking
comment.
Be as negative as you fucking can.
Fuck it. Yeah. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only ones we get are the promote it on whatever it is.
Bullshit.
I just delete.
It's like junk mail.
Yeah, but it's. I have so many videos that I want to post, but it's just that get
dude.
Lazy
Jess has an
shit.
archive.
Just do it. You got to do it at the right time.
No one knows how. Like, we know how. Obviously, it's easy.
It's easy.
It's easy to post, but like
Reddit, dude.
It's like we don't have time to like do things that we need to do, let alone sit there and figure out like fucking.
Well, it was the niche thing. So it was a golf video. It was obviously a golf video, and then like I was on Reddit and I was on the golf forum. So I was like, I'll just stick it on there, and from there, it just went.
You put it on the right spot.
Yeah, it went on the right spot. And then, if anybody posts their kid hitting a great golf swing, I'd be like, I'd fucking post my kid. I was like, check out fucking Tiger Woods here.
So you just kept adding it. Was it, so it was Reddit, not YouTube?
Yeah, well, I uploaded it to YouTube, and then I went on the Reddit forum and did a...
Where was your views at, the YouTube or Reddit?
It was all YouTube, because it linked to YouTube.
And how do you get paid through YouTube? Do you have to set yourself up that way?
So YouTube paid me nothing. So YouTube probably from YouTube I got about $5. So what the deal was, so what the deal, because YouTube, from what I understand,
go from the beginning. How do you get set up, like deals? Someone call you?
Yeah. So this is what it was. So from what I understand, YouTube pays per amount of ads they can put on a video. So that's why a lot of people have long ads or long videos. They can put a certain number of ads in the video. If somebody watches the whole ad, they get more money compared to somebody if they hit skip or whatever. But the way I made my money is Jukin Media. That was the media company. They approached me and said, "Hey, we'll give you a deal. You own the video. That's the first of all. But we'll do you get 70% of all the profit made from this video. We'll keep the rest." I was like, nah, I would like to get more than that. I think we made it up to, I was making up to 80% of it. So then from there, they did all the promotions of it. So I think Nickelodeon ended up putting it on. So Nickelodeon paid $200. They put it on that show with Gronkowski.
Like late at night.
No, it was Nickelodeon. It's Gronkowski did a show called like I don't know, some fail show. It was like a Rob Dyrdek show, but Nickelodeon centric. You know? And then some Swedish media company bought it. Some French people bought it that did like clip shows and stuff. It was like all clip shows, but they were the ones that paid. So it would be like $50, $100 at a time from them purchasing it from this media company. So that's where I made the majority of the money. And I haven't checked it in a long time, but like you have to request your payment from the media company pretty much. So if I check it now, I might have like $200 in there that they got to send me a check for. But
and that goes forever, or
it goes as long as as long as they want to promote it. They probably moved on to bigger, better things now. But
maybe
maybe
not.
If I get it to hit views again, they'll probably promote it again.
PGA. Mm-hmm. You know, put it on.
I actually brought my kid to the PGA, and I was like, well, we went to the PGA that one time too. I went to another one. I was like trying to like see if like people were recognizing him. I was like, hey, this is the kid.
This is the kid.
This is the kid in that video. You see that video?
Want to give me $5?
I'll
have him do it. Have him swing.
I brought a
swing.
Golf club.
Son, swing.
Yeah, let go of the club.
Bring your own rooster and propane tank with you. Just try to recreate it live.
yeah, exactly. I got the tape. The best was, some guy dubbed the video to fucking like music videos. It was awesome.
Dude, what if we did a remake?
That was my 15 minutes.
What if we did a remake?
We could.
Where like just the clip of him like throwing the club and then it, like you're standing there and like it like hits you in the balls or the head or something like that.
Yeah, well see my plan is this is my plan. I got the long con going here. So what I'm doing is I have him every year. Every year I have him out there hitting the golf clubs. And he's actually getting pretty good at swinging a golf club.
You're going to put it all together.
So I'm going to do a progression video.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, so he's going to be like to that video up until, however long.
And then it's like a nice swing.
Then he can strike the ball, crisp sound, and be like,
Ooh, I like that.
And if he's ever on the PGA, oh my God, I can sell that to fucking Nike. And
Big bucks.
Oh my God.
Daddy's making money.
And I just got to let him know I own the rights to that fucking video, kid. So so that's my plan for him. So
oh man,
you better fucking start swinging that golf club better.
That's hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
What other things? Now that we can just stay on this topic. What other things did your brother say?
Oh man, I'm trying to remember. I wish I wrote things down. I wish I wrote things down. There was just the stories, like little, because every story he said was like I was
short.
I was pretty much involved with.
Yeah.
Me and my brother were very close. I hung out with all hung out with Aim and Ryan, all that crew and stuff like that. So every story, and I do this to him regularly when we're together. Like he'll tell a story, I'm like, you fucking liar. That's not how it went at all. But
I own a boat. No, you don't.
You don't own a boat. You're gonna be a millionaire by the time you're 25, huh? Well, fucking, you're way past 25.
Oh.
But
big ambitions.
Very big ambitions. My brother is a very, very one-of-a-kind person.
He is.
And that's the one.
Certainly is.
That's why I like him.
And that's why I love him. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's like the thing I appreciated hanging out with his friends is you tend to get...
They had a fucking alligator in their house.
My God. I could tell a story about the alligator.
Yeah.
Too. So
they tried to kill it. The guy, one guy was trying to tell me the story.
Oh, so the story is, my buddy ended up getting an alligator. For his basement. I forget who he bought it from, but it was somebody we'd probably know. He ended up getting this alligator, and there was a couple people there. I don't know if I want to drop names on here.
Nah, you don't have to drop names.
Yeah, but one of my good friends was building a cage for it. So him and my brother they're almost fighting over building this cage.
They're living together at this point,
They're living
right?
together, yeah. My brother lived, let's clear the air here. My brother lived there for about 2 weeks.
Center Valley.
Yeah, Center Valley, right by the golf course, right by the old folks home there.
Yeah.
Real shitty row homes there. I mean, these things.
Nice area.
These things were pieces of shit. Yeah. I mean, they were awful. I mean, they were terrible.
Yeah.
But it was a great apartment for a bunch of stupid ass bachelors. Right out of high school living there. So they bought this alligator. They built the cage in the basement, and it was this house was like animal. I mean, it was Animal House.
Yeah.
I mean, it was absolutely parties.
A couple parties there.
Parties every night. Every night.
It wasn't too wild, but it was just like it was raunchy.
No,
it was like
it was wild.
It was a little bit wild. Yeah.
So the one story there is, I mean, So the original name for the alligator was Tim Tebow. So that's when Tim Tebow came out, Florida Gator. Let's name him Tim Tebow. So the one night, I don't even know how it came to be, but we're like, is it a Tim Tebow? Do we know it's a Tim? Nobody knows if this alligator's a male or female, So this is also Steve Irwin was big there, and I guess there's a clip of Steve Irwin figuring out how.
All right, is this going to get us in trouble with like some kind of animal rights thing?
No,
or
this
something?
is a scientific way to sex an
Gotcha.
alligator.
Okay. Yeah.
So I guess Steve Irwin, this is how you sex an alligator is you got to stick your finger up the hole.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a butthole or what it is, but it's a single hole. And
male or female has a single hole.
I guess a single hole. Yeah.
You guys are the scientists here.
We're not. We're a bunch of stupid kids. And like I said, I'm gonna keep repeating this throughout. This is 80%. 80% of things, but yeah. So one night, one of my drunk friends, spit on his finger and figured out if it was a Tim or Tina, and it ended up being a Tina.
Wow.
Tina Tebow the alligator. So it was the best alligator I've ever seen. So one drunk night, here's a good story. One drunk night is I'm questioning what I'm doing with my life. I woke up the next morning and
there's an alligator.
And there's also a rabbit. A rabbit named Rabies.
Yeah.
Rabies the rabbit. So Rabies the rabbit. I gotta give props to this rabbit. This rabbit was a fucking survivor. If I ever seen a rabbit in my life, this rabbit they'd let it outside to eat some fresh clover and stuff, and it would hop away for a day, and it would come right back, and it would be there sitting for you. We feed it, whatever. So one of these days, I'm hungover after a party at this house, and I go down, and these apartments, like I said, or these row homes were shitty and they would flood. When it rained, it flooded 2 feet in the basement. So I go down the basement, and there's 2 feet of water, and I look at the alligator pen. There's no fucking alligator in the pen. And then I look to my right, and I see Rabies the rabbit on a boogie board floating across the basement floor, and I just see the alligator fucking walk just like a serpent going around. I pick the rabbit up and I go upstairs. Like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. And that's the last time I went there for a while. That place was such
how big was it?
They didn't want the rabbit anymore, so they were just experimenting, or they
no. The rabbit was great. No, the rabbit was great. The rabbit was well taken care of. Actually,
except for it was on a boogie board where the alligator was let out of the pen.
No, he had his chance. He could have popped upstairs if he wanted, if he wanted to. He just chose to go on the boogie board. I'm just saying, one day we woke up and we saw all the beer bottles pushed to the corner of the basement. So we're like, somebody's fucking cleaned up a little bit. They pushed all the beer bottles to one corner of the basement. And then one day we're upstairs and we hear like this ching, 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 ching. We're like, what the hell is that? There's Rabies the rabbit. He's like, it was just like his favorite sport was pushing the beer bottles to the corner of the basement. So, like I said, one day Rabies got out. He was gone for a week. We thought sure a hawk got him or something like that. But, I was driving down the street one day and I see a 12-year-old kid. He's got his rabbit in a pen outside the front of his house. I said, okay, so Rabies finally made it to a better place.
Good.
The little kid got Rabies the rabbit. He's probably 27 years old right now. No, I'm telling you, that Rabies the rabbit was the survivor.
How big was that alligator?
The alligator ended up being about 6 feet long.
So
Jesus.
So
they didn't know what to do with it, right?
They didn't know what to do with it. So we had, up at my dad's house, there was this neighbor that we had. He was from Florida. He was kind of a piece of shit guy. And, he was, kind of tall tale, so he fit right in, to storyteller. So he's like, I'm from Florida. I know exactly what to do with this alligator. We're going to go down I'll kill it for you. We're going to butcher it up. We'll make belts out of it for you and everything. So we ended up picking him up, taking him over there. And I got to say, this alligator never hurt anybody. We used to take this alligator and what we would do at parties, because it was kind of a chill alligator. We fed it well, so it was never really aggressive or, active. It was always well fed. So what we would do is we'd put it under the couch at the beginning of the party. And probably 4 hours into the party, it would just shoot out from underneath the couch and it would scare everybody. The girls would scream and it was fucking awesome. God. Yeah. We were thrown in the shower with people when they were taking showers. It was awesome. It was the greatest alligator ever. It was friendly. Tina Tebow, man. But anyway, so this guy said, I'll help you out. I'm from Florida. I know exactly what to do with it. So he comes down. He picks the alligator up. The alligator freaks out, flips out, starts clawing him. He had a gash from his wrist to his elbow. I mean, this alligator knew. He knew he's coming to an end. So after that, this guy was a douche. We like Tina Tebow. Fuck that. We can't kill this alligator. So they got rid of it. So what happened after that? I wasn't there for this whole release thing. So I knew they were getting rid of the alligator. So on the news, it happened to be
in a creek.
Listen, so
okay.
The news story that day, I was with my mom telling her this story on the news was, and we were right next to the retirement home. My buddy worked at the retirement home. News story was alligator found in retirement home pond.
Ooh.
And I said, these motherfuckers did not release this alligator in the pond.
Someone else's problem.
But they didn't. So I called him up right away. He's like, no. What they ended up doing is they ended up giving it to some woman up in Hamburg, owned a reptile, or whatever, sanctuary for all the people, all the idiot kids that buy fucking iguanas and fucking boa constrictors and alligators and shit that don't know what to do with them. She took them up there, and I guess she had the fucking whole living room was just like an alligator pen. So that's where Tina ended up. In Hamburg.
Coincidence that there was an alligator in the pond? I don't know.
I was never there for the release of it, but I swear, because I've heard stories of it was Kyle Nepper was there and my buddy, and they said they taped his mouth shut and threw him in the back seat of the car, and halfway through the journey, he was freaking out trying to get out of the car. They had to calm it down, throw a blanket over it, and they ended up getting a hamburger and releasing it. So
Kyle,
no animals were died in the making of these stories. Yeah, they were all well taken care of. I gotta say, my buddy Jared is he loves his animals. He loves his animals. He did end up feeding his fucking what are they, ferrets? He ate them peanuts and they died, but that was just fucking out of lack of knowledge. I guess you can't give ferret peanuts; they die. They shit their intestines out.
Oh boy!
Terrible.
Wow.
Sorry, Peter. Yeah, I mean, what do you gotta live and learn,
Kyle Nepper, he had some requests. R.I.P. By the way.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I like to bring Kyle up because like I said before, being friends with being close with my brother and hanging out with the people I got to hang out with, got to meet some of the most eccentric people that I'll ever meet that are just like one of a kind.
Wild.
One of a kind, and I'll say the Ryans. Man.
Can you tell us a little bit about Nepper's, like what he did? Like he was
Nepper,
living in Thailand,
man,
right?
He was such a gem of a person. Like the stories, I could fill up 5 hours of the stories with Kyle Nepper alone.
He was very unique.
Yeah. Very unique.
He had 2 legitimately issued Pennsylvania driver's licenses with him. His picture had the fucking spaghetti colander.
Yeah, he was a Pastafarian. That's the way he got that's the way he got it. So he went into the DMV and there was this big black woman there, and she goes, "What do you don't wear that on your head? You can't wear that on your head." He's like, "Well, it's my religion. I'm a Pastafarian. I gotta wear this on my head." All pictures I'm taking.
Because he said it was his religion,
yeah,
they had to
allow him. So he came back to the United States from Thailand, and he put a pasta strainer on his head, and he had a legitimate Pennsylvania driver's license. I do. I have it.
Yeah, send it to you. Mike, you have one? We'll have to put it up.
The Pastafarian.
Yeah, we'll have to put it up on the...
I gotta say, so the first experience I had with Kyle Nepper, this is the first time I ever met him, and I had to be probably in 7th grade. I was young. I was really young. So my brother takes me over to his house, and we're hanging out, and he said, "Hey, we got these fireworks. Let's go light these fireworks off." So we're walking down in the suburbs of Salisbury, right by the hospital there, and he has these M80s. And I don't know, like I'm trying to hang out with the older guys. I'm trying to be cool and not be worried. So they're like, he walks like 2 houses down from his house, and he sticks an M80 in the mailbox, and he just blows it up, and nobody runs away, nobody like scatters. We watched it like it was a fireworks show. So I'm thinking like, oh, this must be normal. So we go like a couple of houses. We go like a block down and do the same thing. We did it like to 12 houses, and like it was just like blowing my mind as like a young guy. Like, this is what people do. Like, holy shit! Yeah. But anyway, him and my brother end up leaving to go somewhere, and I'm with another guy, and this guy comes out with a shotgun. So me and this other guy get held up with a shotgun, saying, "You blew my mailbox up. I'm calling the police, or you're calling your parents. How are you going to pay for it?" And this was so long ago. I honestly don't even remember how it was resolved. But I remember we ended up running away or something happened, but we got away from it. That was my first memory of Kyle Nepper. And after that, I was like, this is the coolest fucking guy I ever hung out with. I got to hang out with him some more.
So when
he was nuts, man.
after, or when he, like, I guess he wrote something out that he wanted to happen, and your brother had to do, or some people had to do certain things to your brother.
And you know what? Before we talk about this, I feel terrible about this because.
Wait, should we even talk about this?
We can, absolutely. I mean, he would want us to talk about it for sure.
Okay, yeah.
But the only thing I feel terrible about is that we never
did it.
We're able to put it into fruition.
I can slap Erik in the face with a pie.
Well, we know
day.
we can do it. I'm going to do it someday for sure, but his ashes are already scattered.
We should just do it every now and again.
Yeah, so basically he was in Thailand and something happened. I think he got attacked by a bunch of wild dogs or something like that. And he said his life flashed before his eyes, and he said, I don't think I'm going to make it out of Thailand. So he wrote his will. He wrote his will on Facebook, and he had a list of demands. One of the demands was we have to slap. My brother of course, he's going to dress nice for the funeral because my brother, he's the Dutch Dreamboat, right?
Yeah.
So we gotta throw. Everybody has to bring custard pies, and we're gonna all throw them at my brother throughout the funeral. I think my demand was. His uncle was very religious, so every time his uncle tried to portray some religious, quote or something, I had to boo him.
Oh, yeah.
I was supposed to boo him. I suggested, we'll ground his ashes up and put him in pellets and feed him to the trout out there. So, somebody catch a Kyle Nepper trout or something. But it's very well put. He was very well written. And the one thing I always regret is I always told him he probably had about 20,000 pages of just poems he wrote.
He was a smart dude.
He was so smart.
Yeah.
I mean, and I always would tell him, like, dude, if you can't even sing, like, let's get in a band. I'll put bass lines down. Just speak your shit. Because it was so wild and out of.
Do you have any?
I don't have any of it. I wanted to call his dad and see if he has any of it.
Do you remember any of it?
Oh, it was just no. I don't remember.
Yeah.
He was very shy of bringing us to 40. I don't think he ever thought it was good enough. But it was very, very wild. It would have been great.
To me, I've only met him.
Genius.
I didn't know him as well as you guys did. Mm-hmm. Last time I seen him, he came home from Thailand, and in my pool we started like this whirlpool.
Yeah.
So I didn't know him as well as you guys did, but I could always sense that he was being held back by maybe his father or something like that. Like there was some fear instilled there. Something.
No, the only fear that I could see, he was a complete independent person. Like, he was completely independent. I think the only fear he had was that the stuff he would come up with wasn't good enough. But you should see some of the stuff he put on Facebook was just so crazy. I mean, some of the stuff he said was absolute genius. Yeah. The only thing he had quirks, like everybody, every eccentric person had their quirks. I mean, I think he got held back by just the culture of the United States. I don't think he thought he could be who he was, and
there's something. That's what accepted. I felt. Maybe it wasn't his dad, but maybe it was like just something else. Then
no, I just don't think
he was getting.
I don't think he felt he was could ever be quite accepted within the phrase of being in America and having to have the white picket fence and do this and that. And I think he found in Thailand, he could be very comfortable off of minimal wages out there, And, he was a teacher. The videos he would show me of him teaching these kids were like, he would like have them reciting like Wu-Tang Clan songs and stuff like that. These like little Thailand kids that can't even like speak English. It was great. It was, he's just a one of a kind guy for sure.
After he died, somebody, I forget who it was, sent me a picture of his bones.
Yeah.
His smashed up skeleton, and I remember just looking at it like, that's he would probably want everyone to see that.
Yeah.
Well,
so very
that's
unique person.
That's a cultural thing in Thailand, and he was he was very respected over there in Thailand, like the teaching community and all the students and all the parents of the students, because they weren't used to somebody being as involved as he would be with the students. So he knew the students that were struggling. He knew the students that had potential. And that's one thing I'll always say for Kyle. He knew potential.
He knew positivity.
And he always tried to enhance somebody's potential. Yeah. And that's why we always got along so well with each other, is because we were always trying to improve each other. I would always encourage him to like, hey, you got to get out there with some of this stuff, man, because this is wild. And he would do that with all his students. And I think there was over like 300, 400 people at his funeral in Thailand. They had a fireworks display. It was like a big ordeal over there. And that's like probably I'll hold one of the regrets for the rest of my life is never honoring his like final wishes. And it really,
there's still time.
Because it does. But, I really wanted to shatter his ashes with his dad and his family. And
I asked Erik about that. And I was kind of surprised that he's like, no, we just did this, and it was like, but Erik didn't even really, phase Erik.
It really
like
torments and even in his will, I think he put it on me and another guy that I haven't heard from a while to kind of organize it. I was supposed to make a Facebook page that says, Kyle lives, and you bring up positive stories, but I gotta say the one thing that is definitely he would never want anybody to be sad. He was all about. He knew
always
he was
a smile on his face. Always,
which is crazy. He knew he was gonna be one of those. He's gonna be a shooting flame. He wasn't gonna live forever. He didn't care.
Yeah,
he wanted to live his life to the fullest, and he did absolutely.
Yeah.
But there's a billion stories about that guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I bet.
When I talked to Erik initially, like right after Kyle died, Erik was like really fucking sad about it. I talked to him on the phone for probably like 2 hours. And like, dude, he would not want you to be all fucked up over this,
No, and I think
he was a really genuinely positive dude.
Yeah.
Like anytime I hung out with him, like if I was in a bad mood or hungover from the night before, he was fucking hilarious. And he would always bring the mood up.
Yeah, him and my brother always had like a special connection. I feel bad for my brother because he had some really close friends, pass away. It was him, Matt Pacini, and Kyle Nepper were like really close, and
Well, your brother got lucky. Like he could have been in that group as well. I mean. Good for him. Move away. Get out of your bad habits.
Yeah, and he's doing great right now.
Yeah.
He's he's up in there in Michigan, being
Michigan.
Baller. Massachusetts. Sorry, 80%.
Yeah. Fact check that. Can we get some fact check?
Yeah, but he's doing great up there, man. I go up there, and I feel like the people in Massachusetts fit his style perfectly because he's like. My brother is like super quick, He can't be somewhere longer than 20 minutes and saying I'm fucking bored.
You know what I think that is? I think it's anxiety. I think he has a major anxiety problem because
maybe I just think he gets fucking bored.
I don't like you cannot get bored at some of the things that we fucking do, and it's just dude, how are you not having fun right now?
He's looking for the next party.
Go
he's looking for the next party.
That's
What's
anxiety,
better?
dude.
What's better? I don't know. Maybe it is.
Well, this isn't. Well, or this isn't going like it went in my head, so I got to go somewhere else.
Yeah, after shooting Transformer boxes with a 12-gauge shotgun for 20 minutes, that becomes boring. You're like, dude, come on.
Dude, by the way, Louis C.K. came out with a new special. Fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Oh, I heard it was good. It was good. I've been listening to so many podcasts right now, the comedy podcasts. Like, it's so hard to like find one that's good. And the ones that I listen to right now, I'm sure he has one as well, Louis C.K. But
probably everyone.
I gotta start seeing comedy.
Don't get me started on that shit.
Yeah.
Because like actors getting podcasts.
Yeah.
No,
I don't listen to any actors.
They're not supposed. No, stop.
I listen to comedians.
Podcasts are like comedians. Okay, comedians go.
Yeah.
Actors, no.
No,
like, what's that
no.
fucking armchair with like Dax, whatever his
Shepard.
name is? Yeah, Shepard.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you, dude.
Well, he's got
go
weight.
do your movies, you asshole.
Yeah, well,
I
he's
know.
got weight. He's
I
got,
know
he can
that,
pull,
but like,
he can
that's
pull
what I'm
people.
saying.
Yeah.
Like, they're taking away people from like the smaller people. That's why podcasts. You can't get on the radio. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put our voice over fucking whatever Apple Pod or whatever the hell it was when it first started. You know what I mean? And now the actors are starting to do it, and they're taking that shit away from like the smaller people.
Well, fuck it. Why wouldn't they do it? You gotta understand because
fuck them. Go get a fucking acting job.
So the only people that are listening to that are fucking douchebags. You gotta see that. So I looked for like comedy. I mean, I like comedy, and I'm a little insecure about being funny right now because I did a fucking group text message and I threw a joke out there and it fucking bombed. So now I'm like, I'm questioning how funny I am. I always think I'm like the funniest guy in the room, and that's probably one of my biggest downfalls. Yeah. But yeah, I threw this fucking joke out there and I fucking bombed to 20 fucking old guys in my golf league. So,
what was the joke?
Well, the joke was, so I'm going to see a fish tomorrow up in Hershey.
Oh.
And nobody knows who fucking fish are. They're all 40, 50-year-old guys. And I'm all kicking their ass in golf anyway. I'm the
went
fucking
fishing, huh?
I'm the best golf. So that one of the guys that I'm not going to show up, I'll send him, his text was, I'll send him tickets to, Sesame Street Place or something like whatever the kids are doing these days. And my response to that, which I thought was fucking hilarious, is, too bad the Big Bopper and Buddy Holly died in that fucking plane crash, or I'd return the favor. And then I said, maybe it was too soon for some of you guys. I thought it was fucking hilarious. But then I got fucking crickets and say, hey, I really like Buddy Holly, you fucking young kid. But that was my joke. I thought it was fucking witty as shit. But yeah, so now I'm fucking self-conscious of everything I say.
Well, that's the whole point, dude. If you want to be a comedian, you cannot be self-conscious.
Yeah, well, they all are. No, all comedians are fucking self-conscious.
No, they're not, dude. They are fucking
absolutely.
Ruthless.
Yeah, but they all deep. They go back and they said that was shit. So that's what they say.
Because they have to.
Yeah, they all kill.
Or the fucking or society comes down on them.
But now we're trying to say that I'm a
lose their
comedian.
job.
I am not a comedian at all. Fucking.
You could be.
No. Not
anybody. I think anybody could be. Like,
you got to put the work in. I just can't do it. Every once in a while.
Yeah, you got to put the work in.
You got to put the work in. Yeah. You got to be able to. And though this thing right here in front of me is like one of the things that always held me back. And when we played music and stuff like that, I could say I think I was a very good bass player, but I was so deathly afraid of going in front of people. I think that's always held me back from trying to achieve something. And that sucks. But that's the truth. Yeah. I wish I discovered alcohol sooner because I wouldn't have been afraid.
Well, we used to drink in here and jam. Like that was
that was just me and you though. That was just me and you. But you asked me, hey, we wrote a song. Let's go play out fucking somebody's barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
I would have been sweating bullets.
Dude, I'm the same way.
Yeah,
I'm the same way. Mike said he's not, but I don't believe him. You got to be sweating a little bit, Mike.
No.
Oh, one thing that you brought up on my brother's podcast, by the way, is that video you had of us jamming up in my dad's house. That story was all true, by the way. I'd love to see that video.
Hold on a second.
Because that's probably when I was in the prime of my bass playing career.
It was all true, like from what he said, not 80% true.
It was probably 95% true. I think so. Yeah, no, for sure, because it was loud as fuck. You had that fucking tight ass fucking reggae loud snare. Hitting those, and my neighbor came down and you said your fucking guys are too loud. Called the cops on us or whatever. But we were jamming for sure. But that was like a regular thing up at my dad's house up there on the mountain. I mean, we fucking jammed all the time, and that was awesome. I had the best, probably from 16 to 20 life ever living up on that mountain. That was just a great place to live, jamming out all the time.
Shenanigans aplenty.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I miss those days for sure.
Yeah, those were great times, man. That's why, that's now being a parent. I'm trying to, how can I be that?
You know what you got to do?
Be that person. How can I let them develop all these skills. And, you know, I developed so many social and fucking just skills doing that stuff, not being on my phone.
But you did it on your own, though. They'll do it on their own, too. And it's going to be completely different.
You got to let them, you got to let your kids do that stuff. And being a parent, it's so hard to, like, just, like, take a step back.
Well,
and I got to credit my dad and
what's
my
your
mom
oldest kid,
for
5?
Six.
6?
Yeah.
It ain't time yet. Give it some time. Maybe
like
when they're 12 or 13.
No, but I mean, even when I was 6 years old, dude, I was running out in the woods up down there in the mountain by myself. And shit. Like, even as me, like, I have woods in the creek. I'm like, fucking looking over there, like, keeping an eye on them.
You're worried about it.
Yeah, I'm worried about
you
it
have
for sure.
to.
Yeah, but there's, like, a point where you got to, like, let them go. Let them go and explore and do stupid shit.
Yeah, but there's
light
crazy.
mailboxes on fire.
It's a lot crazier these days than it was back then when your parents were raising you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's why I said
there's a lot more crazy fucks out there.
And there's a lot of people with video cameras that will fucking video you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true,
know
too.
What I mean?
A lot more ticks, too.
Ticks, man. I gotta say,
there are a lot more ticks.
As I am in the woods, I hunt mushrooms. That's like a hobby of mine is mushroom hunting.
Oh, cool.
Never had fucking Lyme disease. And never had a tick.
Actually,
I had one deer tick on me. At one point, I went to the doctor. I removed it within 2 hours of it being in me. She said, as long as it's not on you for longer than 24 hours, you're good. She gave me a strong antibiotic, and I've never had anything from.
I had Lyme disease.
Yeah,
Jess,
I know.
Jess
I heard
has
it
Lyme
from your
too,
your podcast.
Yeah. I think I got rid of it. I just took antibiotics, and I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I was getting like,
sick.
I was like, I felt like exhausted all of the time. Fuck COVID.
Yeah.
Like if Lyme disease was a government program or something like that.
No, well, it was.
Yeah, well, that's what I heard. But
that
is the worst one.
Massachusetts. That's what.
But why is it only maintained in I guess this is where they thrive. I guess the ticks.
It's just like a perfect breeding ground, man.
Yeah,
we got the deer. We got the Pennsylvania is, I don't know if you know, but Pennsylvania was like 98% deforested from, you know, back in the day till now. So we have very little old growth forest. So South Mountain actually is like one of the only old growth forests we have in the area.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you actually have mature oak trees and stuff like that. But if you go anywhere else, it's all these, you know, immature
there's
oak
mature
trees.
oak trees on Hamilton Street, on 222.
On Hamilton Street, because they didn't.
In Trexlertown.
Yeah, because they didn't cut them down. But try to find an actual forest with mature oak trees.
Yeah.
There's none because they were all deforested for farmland and lumber.
Yeah.
I sprinted up South Mountain one day because I was feeling really depressed. And I was in the area.
Like the Kirby?
I just decided to run up a mountain.
Yeah.
I ran full speed.
The road or the actual...
What, 2nd Street?
2nd Street Mountain?
The 2nd Street entrance going all like over that wood bridge and then all the way
That's
up.
a dangerous road to be walking on, dude.
That was like the goal when we were kids. If you could ride your bike up 2nd Street Mountain, you're a champ.
We are mountain men.
Oh yeah, for
We're
sure.
We're surrounded by mountains.
Yeah, well, we live in the valley.
That's like what I base my whole personality off of, being a mountain man.
Yeah.
Like I think I could survive in the mountain for a long period of time.
Yeah,
I think I could.
Funny? I watch this show Alone. You
we watch it too.
Yeah, it's a fucking great show. And my buddy Jake, he just got out of the Marines. He was a Marine, just got out of the Marines, so he submitted a video to that show, and they fucking said, "No, you're not fucking experienced enough." Because like these guys
are experienced.
Hey, did you know they get 2 pounds of fucking beef jerky?
No, I didn't know that. But did you also know that they get a fucking week of training in the area that where they're staying?
No, I didn't know that.
Fuck them.
No,
all right. Put me in the goddamn mountain. Don't give me beef jerky or training. I think I could survive.
They get 2 pounds of beef jerky before they go out there. You see all these people out there like they're surviving for 2 weeks.
God.
2 weeks they haven't trapped a squirrel.
What am I gonna eat? What am I gonna eat?
Yeah, they're eating fucking beef jerky.
They're fucking scum.
Yeah, I know.
It's for TV. It's all bullshit.
No, that's like one of my bucket lists. Is like, you know, every time I drive up the turnpike or go up north, I'm like, you know, one of these days I'm just gonna say, hey, you know, all right, my wife, all right, just drop me off on the side of the road. I'm gonna camp there for, you know, a couple days, see if I can get a couple squirrels.
Yeah, so that's going back to what you did to get to that concert.
Yeah, so self-sufficiency.
That's an adventure, right?
Yeah.
But like now, like I was saying before, I think the older you get, the harder it is. You're so used to doing other things, right?
Yes.
You're so used to that comfort of other things.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hike the Appalachian for at least a week
Yeah.
to start.
Well, my boss did the whole thing.
Yeah,
I talked to him about it.
Yeah?
Yeah. He told me crazy stories about it.
There's a guy that walks from here he walks like a couple miles every day, and Tank is his name. I got to get him on the show. I want to stop. I want to pull over and be like, dude, get on the show. But like, he's walked it and he wants to walk it again.
My brother-in-law's father did it in section. He was a section hiker. It's on my bucket list. That's the one thing I'm gonna do.
The whole thing?
Yeah, I'll do the whole thing. I'll do it. Hopefully.
That's months, dude.
I know.
That's months of not having anything else to do.
Dude, I've researched it extensively. Actually, my grandfather, one of the first books I like fell in love with was like A Walk in the Woods. He gave me that book. It's Bill Brinson. Fact check that one. But it's about these fucking old guys that he's a novelist and he hikes the Appalachian Trail and writes novels. Apparently, it's all fake. They made a movie out of it, but apparently it's all fake. But yeah, it made me fall in love with the trail. I'd love to do it. When I get older, a lot of older guys do it as their like bucket list thing. They take the months off and they do it after they retire and do
Pack
it.
light. That's the biggest thing, right?
Then once you get into it, you realize there's the Triple Crown. You know what the Triple Crown is?
No.
The Triple Crown is, so you do the Appalachian Trail, then you do the Continental Divide Trail, which is from Texas through Colorado all the way up to Canada, and then you do the Pacific Crest Trail, which goes through, I think it starts in Texas, but it goes through California, Sierra Nevadas, all the way up to Canada that way. And there's people that on YouTube, I follow the people on YouTube that go up and do all the Triple Crown. And, you learn that they call the Appalachian Trail the Green Tunnel because you really don't see, you've been on the Appalachian Trail a billion times.
Yeah.
You don't see anything besides these little gaps in the trail.
I heard there was like a lot of I heard there was like little shitty shops everywhere. Like maybe a supply shop, like some guy that lives in the woods who's like selling homemade knives.
Well, no, they call them trail angels. So that's that's
okay.
That's the thing. So like if you hike the Appalachian Trail, you're almost obligated at some point. You know when people start to when they finish. Where people are going to be at a certain point. So what you'll do is you'll go to that section of the trail and you'll.
Shit.
Not even sell it, you'll give it away. So you'll like, hey, I have a beer. I know you've been hiking for 2 months. Have a beer, have some beef jerky or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they'll make people's day. And that's actually one of the things my boss brought up when he was up in, I think he was actually in the final leg up in Maine, and he ran out of food completely. And that's like, there's the stops between each other are incredibly long. And like the guy like had like a can of beans, and he's like, that's the first thing I've eaten in 2 days, and it made it through to the final mountain, but he actually never got past Mount what's the final mountain? It's not Washington.
In Georgia?
No,
Were you talking about up north?
In Maine.
Okay.
I forget what the final mountain the is.
It's
not Mount. I don't think it's Mount Washington. But anyway,
so he started in Georgia.
He started in Georgia and went up to Maine, and he couldn't. They actually closed the pass off because during the winter times, that mountain will experience like the highest winds in the country. Like they'll close it off. It's like deadly up there. Is it Washington? I don't think it's Washington.
No. Yeah. No, that's not. That's right in the border of New Hampshire and Maine. Mount Washington, I believe. I believe
it's
that's
not that one. Then it was whatever the final end of the trail, whatever it is. But anyway, he stuck past the guards or whatever, and went on to continue to finish the hike. And he ended up getting caught in a snowstorm and like had to turn back. Like it was like he was like thought he was gonna die at that point. So yeah, it's a wild thing. I think it would be great to do. Maybe if I'm old enough and make enough money, I can take my kid there before make that would be his adventure.
Yeah. But, maybe you can make some be making money off the YouTube videos going viral, and then
maybe a little
just
crazy.
go and
maybe the PGA. I don't know how far
adventure.
your guys' podcast reaches, but hey, Nike,
thousands
PGA,
of miles, thousands of miles.
Please, reach out because I'll make a generous offer. Dan Kelly, I don't know if you know Dan Kelly and DJ Pigeon. And
he wanted I got to get him on too. He wants to talk. He wants to get scientific and talk sales or something.
Well,
I don't know.
He's another smart dude, another smart, eccentric dude. He went up to New York and he's doing well up there now. I mean, he's very opinionated guy.
He lives in New York now?
I believe so. Yeah, I think he.
Okay, I thought he still lived in the area. Mike, is that?
No,
He's
it
up in
was
New York.
Do you confirm or deny?
80%.
I believe I can 80% confirm that.
80%
All
rule.
right. But yeah, so we have a lot of experiences with our friends. I remember, dude. I'm gonna go out. Tim Lazansky. I seen this dude when Hess gas stations were a thing before they got taken over by their sons and all that shit. He jumped over the counter and grabbed a carton of cigarettes, and then like the guy that was working there ran to the one door, locked it, and he ran out the other door because we were out of cigarettes. We needed cigarettes. This motherfucker was like, "Fuck it."
Yeah.
He's like jumped over the counter, grabbed some cigarettes.
Yep.
And we ran.
Yeah.
We retreat to the golf course.
Shits, yeah.
You know.
Well, yeah. I mean, I remember down in being from Salisbury, fucking hang out with all these rich doctor kids and stuff like that. We'd go down to Lehigh Country Club and go to the halfway house, and they had a fucking full bar there, and just freaking to the bar and drink. And the alarm would be going off for about 4 hours, and nobody would ever show up. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, speaking about listening to your podcast, with the Beitler's on.
Yeah,
I used to work for that gas station he was talking about. The one down there and the Brookside.
Yeah, yep.
I used to work there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I used to scratch off lottery tickets. You know where my hustle was there. So there was this mailman that used to come in there, and mailmen, I'll tell you what, they fucking love their scratch off tickets. So this mailman would come in and he would buy $20 tickets, and he would drop probably 3 times a week. He'd probably drop about $100 on $20 scratch off tickets, and he'd scratch them off right in front of me, and I would get to know the guy, and I'm talking to the guy, and he would fucking scratch off 5 of these tickets, and they would all be losers. So as soon as he left, I fucking bought those fucking next 2, and I didn't have any money. I worked there, and I was a bouncer at the bar down there on Main Street in the McCungy pub. And so I'd buy the $40 and I would win every fucking time. It was like fucking clockwork. He would spend fucking $100, I'd spend $20, $40, and I'd win every fucking time. Wow. It was like I was cheating the system. I probably was. There's probably some kind of
because he was spending buying a lot of them.
Well, you got to play the odds. You look at the odds of the lottery ticket. It says it says 1 in 3 are winners, right? Yeah. So he buys 5 of them. They're all losers.
Yeah.
And I naturally have like a gambling instinct in me, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna fucking buy the next one. It's got to be, and majority of the time it was, and I'm pretty sure there's a law against me buying them, but whatever. I fucking did. I don't work there anymore. Sorry, Ben. But yeah, I always paid my money. I never fucking stole a goddamn thing from you. But I was also a bouncer at the McCungy pub, and I got stories about that too, man.
That was a wild place.
That was a wild place. So when I was a bouncer there, the RMC used to go there a lot. The Running Motorcycle Club.
Yeah.
So that
I got a run in with them.
Yeah. So did I. Well, anyway, I was a bouncer there for a while. And they ended up really liking me. So I ended up befriending a lot of these guys. And one of the guys was, his name was Tiny. So if you can imagine.
The biggest guy in the.
Yeah, if you can imagine who Tiny was about
300 pounds.
6'5", 350. Yeah. He was huge. And I remember one time, and it was, being a bouncer there, I was just checking IDs and stuff like that. But as soon as it started being established by the RMC, it started getting a little sketchier and sketchier. Yeah. And at one point, some guy came in. He looked like he was up to no good, and he looked about 35, and he had sweatpants on, and there was a big bulge on the side of his hip. And I asked for his ID. He didn't have an ID. And he said, I just want to go to the bathroom. I want to go to the bathroom. And it obviously looked like a fucking gun. It looked like a gun. And he's giving me a hard time. And I said, stay out there for a second. And I way over Tiny. I say, Tiny, come over here for a second. And I say, do you guys have issues with this guy? Because he's really trying to get in. I don't like a guy. And he goes, I know that guy. And he picks that guy up and he throws him over the balcony. Instantly. Wow. Throws him right over the balcony like it was like a piece of straw. I mean, Tiny's a gigantic man. Yeah. And he threw this 200-pound guy over the balcony. And that's when I reconsidered my career choice as a bouncer at the McCungy pub. Because I didn't want to get shot over.
It's not like that anymore. It's like family-oriented.
Yeah, no. And they were trying to turn it around at that point, too. Yeah. So, yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, you're making all that money. Why?
Motorcycle gangs are made up of pretty funny characters. Like
They are.
Yeah, well, there's a
at a
big
strip club up in the Poconos many years ago. I wound up not forced, but very strongly suggested by these bikers in the bathroom. I was in the bathroom first, and then they came in smoking this giant fucking blunt of none other than good old PCP.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that was an interesting remainder of the night. But what the fuck was I gonna do? Say no?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like, no, guys, I'm cool. Don't worry about it. Like, no.
Well, this area in particular has a very high population of biker gangs. So there's a lot of pagans and stuff around here. And
that was always the thing. Like, you go in the back roads and shit.
Well,
like,
I live right by Unami Gun Club.
Oh yeah,
which was a big biker hangout.
Yeah,
there's a lot of pagans in there.
My my wife's stepfather was a biker, like back in the day, and is now going down like a bad path again. Yeah, not with biking, but like maybe like drinking too much and shit like that. But like, he was big into that, and I've heard some stories and shit that I was just like, well, why don't do that?
It's wild.
Why did you do that?
Know, I have one buddy that's like so against it.
Because dude, it's they're all racist as shit.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
You know what I mean? It's just like, why do you still think that way? Like,
because it's a brotherhood. It's like but
change the way you like. The future has come upon us. Like change your thinking.
It's the same thing as any cult mentality.
I guess. Yeah.
So you got a kid, even like cops these days. You get a kid that wasn't socially accepted in high school or whatever the case may be. He's a hard time making friends, and then you get this group of people that say, "Hey, you do this for us, and you got brothers."
Yeah.
Of course, a lot of
It's
vulnerable.
called a gang.
Yeah, vulnerable people are gonna gravitate towards that stuff, and it's easy. It's easy. If I wanted to right now, if I'm charismatic to a bunch of vulnerable people and say, "Hey, I'm gonna do this for you. We're gonna be a family." Guarantee you, right now, we could do the two D's and an F. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do the cult. We could make a cult right now.
Get a little commune.
2 D's and an F cult coming at you.
Yep.
I was thinking about this on the way over. Do you like for your fans? You should have.
We don't have any fans.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It should be.
We have one fan.
It should be the DTFs, right? Right.
DTFs.
I just thought of that. Like I said, I bombed earlier today. So
Google 2 D's and an F, and a Family Guy scene will come up.
Does it really?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
I just Googled it.
It's hilarious.
Guys.
Yeah.
Is it a good one at least?
It's hilarious. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But getting back to nanotechnology.
Okay, let's go. Let's go at it hard. So can I tell you the biggest things I know? So nanotechnology.
Don't yell into the microphone.
Well, I've had too many of these.
Yeah,
so
put it
gonna happen.
Put it a little bit further away from your face, maybe.
All right. I'm so used to
there
telling
you go.
everybody. Okay.
No, now use the voice you were using before.
All right. So well, anyway, nanotechnology. So the big things I know is it will revolutionize the world, but it's been around forever. So
since the 80s. Well,
no,
it got big in the 80s. It got big in the 80s. So since the 50s, right?
Let me throw some bombs at you.
Yeah, throw it. Do it.
So you know stained glass, right? Stained glass.
Yeah.
You know why how they make red stained glass?
Like on a church window. How do they make it?
Red stained glass is made from gold. So when you break down gold into a certain molecular width, it turns glass red. Silver is the same thing. I believe silver makes blue.
If you're talking about an old church.
Yeah, but they discovered nanotechnology well before we all knew it.
Yeah,
so they discovered the process to break down molecules into a certain wave width to create things. So that's what we're doing now. So for example, the biggest thing right now is that 5 years ago, from what I know, is like if they implement silver molecules in cotton, you get odorless material. So they can make underwear and socks. They put silver molecules in it, and it'll be odorless.
But it'll smell like
nothing.
a metal.
Nothing.
It won't smell like a metal.
No.
Like putting a penny in your mouth or
Because they put
something?
such a fine amount in. Like gold leaf, for example. That's a...
Like drinking a beer that was brewed in copper?
Yeah, you get what is it? What's the
It's disgusting.
the
I hate
booze-
it.
The booze with
I
gold
fucking
leaf in
hate it.
What's it called?
Oh,
Goldschlager.
Goldschlager.
Yeah, the reason they can do that is because you can stamp gold so thin. It's a molecule thin layer of gold that costs virtually nothing.
Yeah.
It's like gold leaf, and that's what they put in Goldenschlager. But yeah, you can do crazy things with gold. Gold is such a crazy
because it's
element.
so you can form it. It's so soft. It's a soft metal, right?
Yeah, and it does so many things.
Yeah.
I mean, so when I worked for the company that we made semiconductors,
Yeah.
it was wild. So I worked.
That's like that's the best conducting gold, right?
Well,
gold is the best conducting. Like that's what the jets used to have their plugs for the Air Force.
yeah,
they would have
so
gold tips.
Yeah, gold
Yeah.
will.
More than copper.
Yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah, but it's expensive. So
Yeah.
what we would do, we made indium phosphide lasers and detectors. So indium phosphide is a very brittle material. It's very they make it in ingots, and it's very brittle. We had to mount them on sapphires, but we made laser and detectors for data centers. So I was supporting these podcasts well beyond your recollection, because we made the data centers that are probably holding all this data. But anyway,
Wow.
So I worked in pretty much every department within there, but one of the most interesting departments was the metal deposition room, where we basically took these little pellets of gold, platinum, silver, anything that we had to put on these wafers, and we put it into a machine. It hit it with an e-beam, vaporized it onto these wafers, and that's one of the many steps in creating these semiconductor chips.
So when they vaporize them, where does the waste go? Does it go in?
So the waste goes. So it's in a chamber. So we have a vacuum chamber.
Yeah.
And one of the things we did it's called a cryo chamber.
Uh-huh.
So basically, what it does is it cools the chamber down with. So when you cool something down, it takes the pressure out, right? So we would cool it down with this cryo chamber, and it would take it down to, I forget the exact number, but it was like -7 bar or something like that. Something really crazy. So it would be like less than atmosphere.
It's funny they use bar and not PSI.
I think it was bar. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's
been a long
the same
time.
thing, but bar is like a...
Like I said, you're talking to a phlebotomist.
Bar is
and,
like
and you want to be talking
a
to a
European...
PhD.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. But, so, we would deposit these metals on these chips in a certain pattern that it called for the certain kind of laser we were making. I also worked in the wet etch area. So we were creating laser channels in these chips. So one thing you had to do is a wet etch. So use these crazy, powerful, we use hydrobromic acid.
Yeah.
And we would cut these channels in these wafers to create a laser channel that was a certain wavelength. Then I worked in the dielectrics area, which was... We were using silane and phosphane, and we were using making plasmas, and it would put these different layers of the semiconductor on top of the wafer.
Yeah, so I've actually, when I was in my electrical days, I used to make panels for companies like this at their waste stations. So the waste water was coming in. Oof. That was like it stank like shit. It stank like acid and metal.
Oh yeah. So I used, if you ever saw Breaking Bad, you see that scene where they use hydrofluoric acid.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you could smell it. I used to hang down in that fucking shit.
Yeah, I used hydrofluoric acid on a daily basis.
Sensors.
And I gotta say, it won't melt the body, I'll tell you that much. But,
no, but it'll open your nostrils up for sure.
Well, yeah, one of the most deadly thing about hydrofluoric acid is it'll burn your nerve endings off immediately.
Yeah.
So you never know it's on you.
Yeah.
And it'll go into your bone, and what it does is super calcify your bone.
This was mixed with
it was probably mixed,
like water or whatever they
mixed
mixed
it with water.
Yeah,
we mixed it with water.
Wasn't a high, but pure maybe.
But the chemicals were absolutely
crazy.
insane that I worked with, and I worked with them on a daily basis, and I worked with people that were verging retirement. They were old legacy people there, and they did things their own way, and the safety, the EHS was not the greatest there. And I was talking to this old woman there, and she's mixing chemicals. She taught me all this stuff, and one thing she's like, I was He's like, why aren't you wearing all the safety equipment? Like, you got to wear this stuff. This is like, you read this book, the MSDS, like, look at all these like things that it could do to you. And she's like, well, if I wear it, I won't be able to mix it correctly, and I have more of a chance of spilling it if I don't wear all this stuff. I'm like, you're out of your fucking mind. You're
like safety's hindering how she's. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
But I mean, she retired. She never had an incident, so maybe she was right. But I mean, the safety wise, company wise, they probably would have a hard time.
As in some companies, like as an electrician, you have to wear a full suit,
metal suit.
I mean, I don't know what it's made of, but you have to wear a suit, these big ass gloves, and this face like a whole entire like mask.
Yeah.
And it's like an explosion proof suit, right?
Yeah.
Just to either turn on a switch or maybe change a wire over or something. But like how you can't work in this fucking thing. So it's no one ever wears it.
That's what all the guys are complaining about.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah, they have like we have the lockout tagout thing. If there's ever an electric issue, they have to pull this buggy over, gown up with all this stuff. But yeah, it's crazy. One of the incidents I had in my old job where I was working with all those chemicals is there was a guy there, new guy. They hired him off the street, and we had to make this thing called piranha etch. And piranha etch was it's sulfuric acid, peroxide, and water. And everybody always kind of suspected this guy, he worked on third shift, of drinking on the job, but nobody ever caught him. So one of these days, if you mix this stuff out of order, because you know, acid to water, that's always what you never want to add water to acid. So
what does it do?
So basically, when you're adding water to acid, the acid will be diluted as you're adding it.
Yeah.
But if you add water to acid, the acid's there.
Yeah.
So basically what this does is when you mix it, it superheats immediately. So you mix this stuff correctly.
Because of the oxygen in the water?
Because the peroxide, sulfuric acid will react with water and heat up.
Because of the oxygen or the hydrogen?
I don't know the chemical theory behind it. But anyway, it'll superheat.
Yeah.
But if you mix it out of order, it'll get hot super fast. Chemical reaction stuff. Yeah. So he exploded this glass vial we had of this stuff we had, and it exploded all over him. He wasn't wearing his stuff, and they ended up texting him, and he was drunk on the job.
And then he became the Joker from the original Batman.
Yeah. So if you ever want to know how Batman started, started right here.
He fell in a bucket of acid.
Valley. There you go.
Jack Napier, solid guy.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson, the best Joker. All right, best Joker, go.
Best Joker?
Nicholson for me.
Who is the old? I want to say the old guy. I don't know his fucking name.
Nicholson, right?
No, the TV show guy.
Oh, for real? In the fucking show, dude?
No, I wanted to say that just to be fucking
just
to be smarter than everybody.
I don't know.
No, from the 60s.
Yeah, the guy with the real good makeup.
Who was Batman back then?
Adam West.
Yeah, Adam West.
Adam West. Who was the Adam West Joker?
He Family Guy used to make fun of him.
He was the best. Go fuck yourself.
Wait, he was a voice in Family Guy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Family
Guy a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Jack Nicholson. I've always thought that, but then I start looking at who played Joker in the movie Joker. What's his name?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah. I think he could take it. I think if he came up, I think if he was in a Batman movie, I think he could fucking take it.
Yeah, he's such a good actor, man.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen it.
Oh my god, dude, you would love it. It's your type of movie, bro.
The movie is just so uncomfortable.
It's your type of movie, dude.
The whole movie is uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's like
it's like uncomfortable.
It's like a real scenario on this could be how Joker actually was evolved.
Yeah, it was just uncomfortable the whole movie.
The laugh, I did the laugh. I used to do it in public.
Yeah.
After I saw the movie, I'd be like, Jess, you want to bet I can't do that laugh right now? in wherever we were, the grocery store or something. But yeah, watch it, dude.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get into superhero
really good.
Movies,
I think it's really good.
Talk about Shazam. Have anybody ever seen Shazam?
I did. I loved it.
I never saw that. I was
okay. Well, I loved it for real.
Was it?
Yeah,
it good
for real. It was good.
I never saw it. I
think they're coming out with the second one, but I saw it in the theaters. I took my stepson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing.
Was it?
Yeah.
See, I thought it was what the hell are they putting? I thought that was the whole
superhero
phase.
You didn't see it though?
No, I didn't.
Go see it, man.
Oh yeah,
it's for real good.
The Tick. That's a superhero.
Was that a movie?
That was a show.
Or I know it was
They
a
did
show.
They did a
Card
live action
MTV.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a cartoon and then two live action
And they did a
shows.
live
Cartoon was
action.
good.
Yeah, the cartoon was great.
Yeah.
With the Critic. Does anybody remember the
The
Critic?
Critic, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was great.
With
Critic.
what's his name?
Lovitz.
Yeah.
John Lovitz.
John
John
Lovitz.
Lovitz. Yeah, that was awesome. I love the Critic.
Yeah, it was like a cartoon, but it was like really him. Like looked
Yeah.
like him. It was like
It
bald with
stinks.
this.
You should put a clip of that on this show right now. It stinks.
And put it on now.
Oh man. Yeah, I gotta say, did you put that clip out of my brother? That was an amazing clip.
Which one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that clip, that like the
Yeah, I
little
put that one
30-second
together.
montage.
Oh yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
I gotta put it on YouTube. I just put. We're not putting the montages on YouTube, but I put the Ronnie Butler one on there, and I want to start putting them all on there. It's easy to put on there. I can do that, but it's like, again, like I finding the time. I don't know.
Yeah.
But right now, like I'm like a full on like sports dad, and because my kids are in football right now, and it's crazy.
Oh yeah, that's a full-time job right there.
Yeah, and I'm trying not to be like the guy on the the sideline screaming at my kid to.
No,
Hustle
you got to
and
scream
shit.
at the other parents, and you got to have a beer in your hand.
And, well, we were gonna bring wine.
Oh
The
my
other
God,
practice.
wine!
It was a
Wine
rough
to a
day.
football game.
Yeah.
Cool, dude.
Yeah. Well, I
Real
got two
cool.
kids. Yeah. Well, whatever. Don't judge me.
I drink beer and play frisbee golf.
Yeah.
Real cool, dude.
Yeah,
Real
well,
cool.
hey, I gotta say, I am fucking number 1 in my golf league right now, so I'm fucking
really?
dadding it hardcore right now.
We got to get out there, man. I haven't played it all this year.
Yeah, no,
I wanna get out.
I'm a 5 handicap.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm fucking killing it right now.
Wow.
Yeah, all these old fucks that I play with. Go fuck yourself. If you listen to this podcast, you suck. All of you. You're fucking terrible. And you can't take a joke either, you dick faces.
These are the things we can say because no one listens to the podcast.
Yeah, you fucking cunts.
Oh, okay. Let's calm it down
Well,
now.
I'm just saying, there are a bunch of fucking old
There's
motherfuckers.
people that
That's a
listen to
hard
that.
word, right?
It is.
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
You can throw that one when you really hate somebody.
Well, I think it was thrown around. It was thrown around more like way back when, like in the 80s,
love it,
maybe.
though.
Like
I
80s.
love it.
80s, it was like acceptable
But-
to call your kids cunts.
If a British guy says it, what do you think?
Well, that's what I mean. Like in the
Oh, it's
80s, you could
completely
call your
different,
kids
yeah.
cunts.
Fine. It's fine.
You're
It's
just
not
being-
anymore.
If a British
just
guy
being
calls you
cheeky.
a cunt, you're like, it's
I
your
think it's like,
buddy.
is it an Aussie thing or a
No,
British thing?
I think it's Irish.
British.
Irish or British. Yeah. You fucking
Is
cunt.
it?
That was not an Irish accent at all.
No, it wasn't.
I tried. But yeah, I mean,
Scottish? Are you
yeah, I
doing
think
Scottish
that
right
was
now?
a little
What are you doing?
Scottish. I don't
Scottish
know, I was
American?
trying something.
Scottish from the Bronx, or what are you
Yeah.
doing?
No, the Irish people are great over there, though. And they call me cunt a lot of times, so they must.
Where?
They must
In
like me.
Ireland?
Over in Ireland, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I was over in Ireland. We booked a trip over in Ireland one time. Great deal, Groupon deal. And I was in Kilkenny. And
There's a beer called Kilkenny. It is
Yeah.
the greatest beer I've ever had in my life.
Don't ever order a black and tan over in Kilkenny.
Ugh.
So I did that. I ordered a black and tan.
Kilkenny.
And the waiter looked at me like he wanted to fucking stab me right through the forehead. And I didn't understand why. I was like, hey, we order them over here all the time. It's usually a Yingling and a Bass or something like that, right? A light and a dark beer. And he looked at me like he thought I was an asshole. So I asked him why. Like, why do you hate me right now? And he basically said, well, basically back in Southern Ireland, back in the day, all the people that came over from England that like pretty much enslaved the Irish people were called the black and tans. So I was pretty much making light of all his, forefathers' plight by trying to order a drink called the black and tan when I was just a harmless, American trying to order a fucking Guinness and a
Dude, when I was in
or whatever.
When I was in Okinawa, there was this Irish bar. This Irish guy owned it. Straight fucking Irish accent,
Yeah.
like cursing nonstop. Like that was like his whole gig. It was just like a bunch of GIs coming in. Fucking cunt, this fucking cunt. You want to fucking kill Kenny? I'll fucking kill you, you fucker. He was like that. It was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
It was like that was the closest I've ever been to Ireland.
Dude, Ireland was the best trip I ever went to. It was the best. So we were in Limerick. Limerick, they call that Stab City.
Limerick, Pennsylvania.
No,
Limerick, Ireland.
Ireland. And they call it Stab City. That's like the stabs capital of Ireland. That's where everybody gets fucking stabbed, apparently. That's what the guy was telling me anyway. We were at a bar there. We went to a local bar, and I was trying to pick up the local atmosphere, so we went to a small little pub over there in Ireland. And I'm sitting next to a bar, and there's this guy over there. I started talking to him about golf. Golf was on there, and I'm talking to him, and he ended up liking American football. So I'm talking about American football. And he tells me, you know, he's here. His girlfriend's on his way. It's the first time he's going to meet his girlfriend's family. And he's all nervous, and I'm talking to him. And his girlfriend comes, and she's a great person. We're talking. We're having a great old time. And finally, her family shows up. And they're like the rednecks of Ireland. I don't know what that term is of Ireland, but they're like the good old boys of Ireland. Like, they're hardcore Irish.
They're singing in the pub, and they got their 16-ounce
Exactly. And this guy's like a nerd Irish guy. Like, he's not one of them at all. And I end up drinking with these guys. And first the guy tells me, I didn't like you at all immediately because you were American. I didn't like you. And I started drinking with him. He's like, well, you can drink, so I like you. So I was like, all right, well, we're going to hang out with this fucking guy all night. And I order a shot at the bar, and I remember the bartender looking at me like, what the fuck's a shot? You get a glass.
You want a pint of that?
Yeah, well, you're right. I ordered a SoCo and lime because that was like the shot back in the day when
we got a sissy man here.
Yeah. So I ordered a round of it. They all looked at me like I was a stupid American. We all took SoCo and limes, and we ended up going to this club. I had to lie and pretend I was their American cousin, and they got me into this fucking crazy underground Irish club. It was great. We had partied. We ended up took a selfie with this guy. His name was Neil, by the way. So Neil in Ireland. If you're looking, hey,
Neil
buddy,
in Ireland.
Hey, you're the man. I still got
Email
a picture
us.
of me and you.
2 Ds.
Yeah, but we took a picture, and I remember I got so fucking drunk that night. We would go back to our hotel in Ireland, and it's an embarrassing story, but you know, I end up waking up in the middle of the night, and I get woken up by my wife. He's screaming at me, yelling at me, and she said, "The bathroom's not by the bed; it's over there." And I was peeing on the bed, and the next thing I know, I remember I woke up in pitch blackness. I was scared. I remember just being scared. I was scared, and there was walls surrounding me. I was scared, and I couldn't get out. I was in a cave. I thought it was a living nightmare. I thought the Irish
in Ireland
trapped me. Yeah, I didn't know what I was.
Okay, but don't go to Ireland, folks. You're gonna live your nightmare.
Well, I ended up being. I went into the shower with the lights closed, and I closed the door. And my wife turned the lights on, and I was screaming at the top of my lungs, and I was just trapped in the shower. But yeah, you go to Ireland, you're gonna get drunk and talk to some Irish rednecks, and
sweet.
Maybe Neil will show you around, and
Neil,
have a great old time. Yeah, it was a fun time. And then we went to Dunboyne. And Dunboyne, we met some old guys, and I'll tell you what, they're the friendliest people in the world because we met these people.
But they said they hated you. Just got done saying
no, but I impressed them immediately, and we became friends. And
all right, gotcha.
And then as soon as I impressed them, they were my best.
You
friend.
had to earn their respect.
Yeah, he still talked to me to this day. He's trying to come over here and stay with me. And
you drink the SoCo and limes.
Yeah, exactly. But we went to Dunboyne and we met these old guys there, and I remember my wife. We actually found out we were pregnant. She was pregnant with our second kid with Harrison. And we get to the bar, and this is right by Dublin, so it's big Guinness Central place there. And I order a Guinness, and she orders a Coke. And these 4 old guys at the bar, and they look over. What the fuck you ordering a Coke for? Are you pregnant or something? And she goes, yeah, I am. And then they were our best friends.
Wow.
I mean, they talked to us for hours, told us about their kids. They're in America. They gave us their numbers and stuff, and they contact us to this day, ask how we're doing and stuff like that. It's
wow.
Yeah, it's
wow.
It's awesome.
Lifelong relationships.
Yeah, they are the friendliest place. I recommend going over there and just talking to people. I mean, they will open up immensely, and they will just open up and just be your friends. Except nice. I played golf over in Ireland, and I played at Limerick. Yeah, and it's a famous golf course over there. It's down by the Cliffs of Moher, and I guess their claim to fame is they've had the same generation of goats living on that course for since it was founded in fucking 16 whatever.
No, but the course is really green. I can just picture like super green.
When they call it the Emerald Isle, it
Yeah.
absolutely is green.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the best part of our trip. So we rented a car and we drove around the whole south of Ireland.
Yeah.
So it was great.
Cliffs,
Cliffs
and stuff like that.
Well,
like
the Cliffs of Moher. We went there in like the little off season, so the weather wasn't great and the wind was absolutely insane. I mean, you could.
Does it get cold there, or what?
I don't. It
Rainy, cold.
It just rains.
Rains a lot.
Yeah, I think there's like palm trees actually in the south of Ireland, like because the jet stream comes around and it's always like kind of warm, but it just rains.
That's not how you picture. That's not how I would picture Ireland. Yeah, it's crazy.
Limerick, and then I ended up playing golf, and the caddies wouldn't even go out because it was like 50-mile-per-hour sustained winds, and I played with some French guy. I remember playing with some French guy, some French fuck. And
I remember. Now that we're on, let's get on the topic of French.
Well, let me tell you how he fucking betrayed me. Real quick.
Go ahead.
So we get to the second hole, and it's rough out there. I mean, it's brutal winds. I just want to experience.
It's like the French
course.
to portray you.
Yeah. So like I'm playing with them, and you have to walk, and you can't have a cart, and you carry your bags around, and there's these pot bunkers that are probably fucking 15 feet deep. They're deep. They have steps going down into the bunkers if you hit them in there. And the second hole, the wind blows his cart into the bunker, fucking falls in the bunker, clubs everywhere. And I'm fucking trying to help him out. And he said, you know what, I've had enough. I said, you fucking leaving me now? Like, it's the second hole. I got the whole 18 to go here. I'm by myself here. The caddies wouldn't go out. And he fucking just said, I'll leave you. You get out of there. What did I do? He said, I do. And fucking...
I fed you very well, sir.
Yeah, and he was gone. The fucking French guy abandoned me. So I played the whole round. I got 12 balls to start. I made it to about the 9th hole, and I lost all of them. And then I just walked the rest of the course and just fucking drove back.
Crazy American. What's he doing?
I got this little fucking Ford Fiesta over there as a rental car.
Ford?
Whatever. Yeah, it was a Ford. It was a right-hand drive. So I was shifting with it was a stick shift, too. So they gave you that right out of Dublin Airport. And there's fucking roundabout. They hit you immediately with like 4 roundabouts. Yeah. And I'm trying to learn right-hand drive, stick shift, and I'm fucking hitting the.
I think it's better, man.
In rush hour traffic.
Yeah.
So I'm like fucking nervous as shit. And so when I rented the car, he said, "Where are you going?" I told him the route we were taking, and he said he looked at the side of the car, and we're looking for scratches. He said, "Don't worry about the side of the car." I said, okay. I was like, okay. So when we end up getting over to that side of the country, the left-hand side, whatever you call it, I guess it would be the west-hand side. So there's no side of the road.
You drive right.
It is the road.
We got into this
it is the road.
With the Faraz episode. It's right-hand side of the car.
It's the right-hand
left-hand side of the road.
But it's the road immediately a hedgerow.
Yeah.
So you're driving, I mean, there is no room at all. And these people over there, they've been doing it for fucking 50 years. They're doing 70 on these roads. And we're driving through the Cliffs of Moher and this beautiful scenery. And I probably left fingerprints in the steering wheel because I couldn't keep my eye off the road because I'm fucking, there's blind corner after blind corner. It's rainy. And she's like, oh, look at those. That's beautiful up there. There's fucking a leprechaun and shit. And I can't fucking keep my eye off the fucking middle of the road. And then there's all of a sudden a tour bus comes around. It's absolutely insane. It's absurdity. Jeez. That's why they're so good at rally racing over there in Europe.
Yeah, I think driving on the right-hand side of the car is easier. Just because, if you're right-handed, like most people are, I think it's easier to shift. All you gotta do is go up and go down with this hand, right? This should be your steering. Your right hand should be your steering.
Yeah,
hand.
No, it was after a while I got so used to it. It was,
yeah.
It was fun.
Quick. And then when you come back to the States,
it's
like,
and also, you gotta
learn it all over again.
I'll tell you right now, roundabouts are the way to go.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
There's a lot. So the problem on 222.
Yeah.
Up towards Amish country, there's a lot of roundabouts.
People aren't used to it. If
they don't know what to do.
If that's all you have,
just go,
dude. It makes
fucking go.
So
you see a car coming? No, go.
Go.
What are you doing?
Going.
Don't stop.
You're not stopping.
Don't stop.
Yeah, no. If that's all you have, it's so efficient. It's crazy efficient.
Yeah.
And I got so used to it over there. Everybody, there should be no fucking stoplights.
Right, they're all over New Jersey. Like they're all over the place.
For
like,
sure.
yeah, they're definitely becoming big around here lately.
Yeah,
yeah.
But Ireland's, I suggest Ireland is a trip. It's
yeah,
awesome.
I'd love to go.
We never went into the north of Ireland. It was all, I forget. There's like two different states.
So we're planning a trip to Cancun. I've got a place.
Are they cancel it yet on you? With all this COVID bullshit going on?
Well, we didn't book it yet. My family has a place in Cancun. What do they call it? Timeshare. Yeah.
Oh, okay, timeshare.
Yeah. So
they went to Vegas and got roped into that shit, huh?
I didn't go. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't get roped into it. I don't want any part
I
of
went
it.
to one of those things. I'll tell you what.
No.
They are pretty persuasive.
Yeah. You know what? I don't. There's a lot of negativity about them. My dad seems to think they're a good thing. I don't know anything. I don't know enough about them to talk. So like,
if you have a good time, who cares? Shit.
Yeah.
All I know is they were trying to talk 21-year-old me into buying a fucking timeshare.
Yeah, I think it's a piece of property that you technically own, but technically not. Like you don't actually own it.
You don't own it.
Yeah,
you own like
it's weird. It's fucking weird. I don't know.
54th of it or something like that.
Something. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's fucking weird, but you can't. It's hard to sell. Like you can't even fucking sell it.
Well, I guess the one thing they were trying to sell me is that like you own this timeshare, but you can use it all over the world. Like,
you can swap it.
They have properties,
but you have to pay for it when you're not using it.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that all about? I'm not paying for that.
All I know is they were like getting angry at us because like they said, hey, go to this timeshare meeting. We'll give you two tickets to a show and $100 to gamble.
Yeah.
So
me and my wife did that a few times with like a few different timeshares. Like, let's just sit through the fucking awful 2 to 3 hour presentation.
How
just
hardcore
keep saying no.
How do you get out of there?
They pass you around.
How do you get out
pass
of
you
there?
around, and they just turn the fucking screws on.
Yeah, you gotta understand.
Just
my wife
no,
is like
no,
sweetheart. So she's like,
oh, this sounds lovely. This sounds nice.
Yeah, after a while, she's like, yeah, I like this. And I pretty much tell they rotate you through people. They rotate you.
When can you leave? Can you just get up and walk out? Or
I just keep saying I'm here for the tickets.
Yeah, but can you get up and walk out? Or
no, then you don't get your tickets.
Oh, you get them at the end.
Yeah, you get them at the end.
Yeah.
So
wow.
I just keep telling anybody.
Is it a whole day thing?
Oh yeah,
it's a couple hours. Yeah,
they tell you it's an hour, but it's not.
Yeah, and if you bail on it, then they don't pay for anything, and
they
then
make
you have to pay for like the whole vacation.
Taxi home and shit, because they take you out in the middle of fucking nowhere in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was brutal.
A timeshare in Las Vegas. I can't imagine that would be a great idea.
Well, no, they were saying so you get this timeshare and then you can go to Italy and all this other places.
Yeah,
timeshares.
You can trade it for anywhere.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, Lion King was phenomenal.
Oh. Did you watch an entire movie? They made you watch Lion King while you were
there? No, that's the tickets we got.
Well, yeah. Once you're actually done with the presentation and you leave, they give you all your shit, and then you can enjoy the rest of your week. Like, here's $400 in coupons to Pizza Hut. Great.
Yeah. So my wife won $100 to gamble with. She entered a poker tournament in Las Vegas and won it. So how about that shit?
Oh wow.
Yeah, she entered a $100 poker tournament.
She won first place?
Yeah. So listen to this shit.
Yeah.
So we both entered this poker tournament just for fun. We're in Vegas. And we get to the same table. So there's 4 tables to start with. They whittled down into one last table. And then it ends up, I got a good hand. And she has a good hand. So we're betting and like I'm trying to like fucking wink at her and shit and like fucking tap her under the table and shit. Like,
we're done, honey.
Hey,
we're done.
No, like fold. I got a good hand. Yeah. Stop betting against me. And she's not doing it. She's like fucking dead-eyeing me. Like fucking, I felt like I was in, what's that movie with fucking Mel Gibson? Fucking Aces Wild or something. I don't forget what it was. It was some.
Was he a trucker or something?
No, he was like an old.
Just picture him as a trucker.
Old-time fucking gambler where he could predict the cards that came out.
His daughter got stolen.
Yeah, whatever. He was a gambler. He was a gambler, poker player down in New Orleans on the fucking ferry boats or whatever. But anyway, I thought I was that guy, but she fucking was staring me down like. And I didn't take it.
Honey.
I was like, I can't lose to you.
You ain't doing this shit
But anyway,
tonight.
she called me all
Destroyed
in.
you.
Yeah.
She called you all in.
She called me all
in.
in.
And wait, hold on a second. Was she bluffing or was she?
She was not bluffing.
And you couldn't read her, or did you go in? You folded.
I called her.
Yeah.
No, I
called her.
I called her bluff. Yeah.
You thought she was bluffing.
I thought she didn't
can't even read her.
I thought she didn't know what the fuck she was doing because she didn't know what the fuck she was doing. And
wow.
She kicked my ass and sent me to the curb. So I was a spectator from there.
Ari knew respect for you.
She absolutely destroyed me in poker and ended up being it was her and another girl there, and it was like dragging on. So they said, "Hey, I'll just split this pot." So they ended up splitting the first place pot between them. So,
and they went shopping the next day.
Yeah,
and here's Brett, and you sat in the hotel room and drank whiskey.
Saw a show.
All right. Brad, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We made it happen. It was a little.
We went from Nano to Kyle Nepper to back to Nano
just
to Ari beating your ass in poker.
She got me. So hey,
she got you.
Ari got me.
Yeah.
If you ever listen to it, so props to you.
All right. Good.
All right. Yeah, we're good, and we'll see everybody next week.
Later.
All right. Thank you.
2Ds is part of Might Be News Network. That's mbnnetwork.com. It is also a fucking done sound production. If you would like to tell your story on 2Ds and an F, email us at 2Ds and an F podcast at gmail.com. That's TWODSANDANF podcast at gmail.com. For episode segments, extras, and upcoming guest interviews, check out 2Ds and an F podcast pages on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Full-length episodes are available on YouTube, Spotify, and just about everywhere other podcasts are found. Don't forget to like and subscribe.